Alright, so good day everybody. Once again we are live again. I am gonna wait until I see some more people who are gonna be coming here on the live with us shortly. So we will see how much we can get covered. How much things that we will be able to cover in today's live. Alright. So I'll wait and see how much people we will have here, and hopefully more and more people will be able to join us. I'll be able to explain what is going to happen from today go into next week and next few weeks leading into April, which actually leads into our new year, our true new year. Alright, it's going to lead us into our true new year of 7382, right, which is going to lead us into a divine intervention, something divine. A divine intervention is about to step in, which is Elohim. Elohim is going to step in all this world, in all what's happening on the earth here, and people realize that they may think that Elohim is silent, but I Elohim spokesman here on earth, and no, they send a message for all humanity that all those who do not be obedient, all those who do not listen, and all those who do not take all these signs that they have been sending through dreams and visions seriously, you will be dealt with. You will be dealt with one way or the other. Is either you'll be left behind, which will be even more critical for you, because as you could see, the enemies, they want a reboot. They want the economy to be rebooted, so it will be rebooted into the new world order. But that will not happen. That is not going to happen unless if Elohim allow it. And as again, speaking on behalf of Elohim, the ambassador here on the earth, I am telling you all, the new world order will never ever happen. But they have been given an opportunity to test the hearts of humanity, test each and every one of your hearts, to see how faithful you are, to see how truthful you are, to see if you are worthy to enter into the New Jerusalem, to see if you are worthy to enter into the New Jerusalem. And it's really up to you. At the end of the day, it's up to you. All right. You need to choose where you want to go, where you will be spending your eternity. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit on the reboot, and I know talk about the reboot and the reboot effect, the transformation effect, and all these different things that people was feeling in their bodies. Now, some people felt a lot of changes in their bodies, and when they went back to, let me say, they went to the doctor and stuff like that, tests came back negative. Let me repeat that. A lot of you all out there, before they brought this pandemic nonsense of the corona, before they actually take the corona extra drink, and then the special brew rum that is called virus, before they take the two names and merge it and call it coronavirus, there was, I myself and a lot of other people, all right, have caught a cold that was since last year. It was a serious cold, and it was affecting your nose and stuff like that. It was affecting your ability to breathe properly, right? That is what was transpiring, as what was happening. And a lot of people throughout the world had this cough, like it didn't want to leave here at all. It lasts maybe for 2 weeks. Some people had it 2 weeks, some people had it 3 weeks. It will go and will come. Some people had an infection where they couldn't like blood was coming down their nose, and all these different transmission symptoms. All these things, right? All these, things that happen before when people was having problems and stuff like that. All these things that happened before had a lot to do with the transmission effect. It had a lot to do with what is transpiring, well, what is happening now, getting us ready for the party, right? So this all have to do with getting ready for the party, getting ready for the party. And you all should know by now something huge is going to happen next month, because as next month is our New Year, Elohim's New Year, next month, right? So yes, people were having problems with their sinus and stuff like that, and some people had it really, really bad before they came up with this so-called coronavirus, and they using this as a kick-off agenda for the New World Order. All right. Now, some people might call me a conspiracist, or some people might call me a false prophet. Some people might call me, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't know this, and I don't know that. And the Bible talk about false prophets and blah, 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 blah. But do you know what? At the end of the day, being the ambassador in the earth who have power over all things on the earth, I am specifically telling you all what is our enemy's agenda, so that you know to keep your eyes wide open, so you know to be vigilant, so you know to be to understand when you have certain dreams, so that you will know what these dreams mean. You will understand. You don't even need me to understand to explain to you all the dreams, all right? But as of today, Elohim say that they're going to begin passing judgment on nations, and so you all may be seeing I post a lot of things and I talk about how Elohim say in a few days they're going to pass judgment. Yes, it's true. In a few days, they're going to pass greater judgment on the earth, as we can see what's already happening in Puerto Rico, as we can see what's happening in Brazil, as we can see the coronavirus, the agenda has hidden a lot of supernatural things that is happening in the heaven. The agenda has hidden the earthquakes that are happening. Everybody forget about the earthquakes. Everybody forget about the catastrophic tsunamis. Everybody forget about being holy. Everybody forget about that. Not everybody forget about that, but I'm reminding the public, the general public, of what is Elohim's plan for this hour. People may think that Elohim is silent and they are not taking a stand against the enemies, but yes, Elohim is taking a stand against the enemies, and they are going to strike back in a supernatural way. They are actually about to strike back. So around tonight, we count 7 days from today. We are on a countdown right now again. All right, so we are on a countdown. I am putting you all on a countdown. The countdown is to make you understand exactly what's happening, how it's going to happen, and what to really expect in the next few days from now. All right, so this agenda have countries and nations locked down, and not only that, the government now is all over the news, pushing this agenda and passing unscrupulous laws. So while everybody's being distracted, with this Illuminati New World Order agenda, the government, the ones behind closed doors, the elites busy drafting laws to put things into place, because they realize this generation is stupid, and they realize that this final generation is dotish, and they realize that they don't even seek their own soul salvation. They rather go to a pastor or to a so-called father behind a pulpit. They will not turn to the true creators, and they have no relationship with the true Almighty Elohim at all. So the enemies realize that, and they are taking a stand against humanity by putting them under quarantine. Yes, and the purpose of the quarantine, remember I talk about the rapture. I want you to listen to me carefully, people, because the catching away is going to happen in a few days, and yes, it might as well happen maybe next 5 days or so. All right, going into our new year, which is going to begin in April, and I'm going to announce the specific date, but people will know. because they quarantine everybody in every country, in every nation, because of the rapture going to happen. Because the catching away going to happen, which is the rapture, they have everybody on lockdown. And not only that, they're trying to see if they could get a vaccine. The corona is just a front man, but the main agenda is the vaccine. And once you get the vaccine, once you take the vaccine, it won't be long before you die. And when you die, you die. Well, when you die, you die. There's nothing to bring you back from that. And just to give you all an idea, Bill Gates has stepped down, yes, from his Microsoft business. Bill Gates has stepped down as CEO. A lot of CEOs step down in order to fulfill this agenda, because these CEOs that step down from Hollywood, Netflix, all these billion dollars companies around the earth, the CEOs are stepping down. The only person who is stepped down is freaking Donald Trump, because they have it as an agenda, because the American people love evil and they love him too. So that's the only reason why the Illuminati hasn't removed Donald Trump yet. But as I say, and I keep saying to you all already, that Donald Trump is a clone, and Donald Trump is doing exactly what they want him to do: distract you. So because he is doing exactly what they want him to do, they are not going to remove him, because he is following along with their script, and he's not going out of script, not out of line either. But people don't notice that Donald Trump is a puppet, as well as all government ministers around the earth are puppets. They don't understand that they are puppets. And because they are puppets on a string, the Illuminati, the Freemason, the secret societies out there, the bone and the skulls, and all these different, uh, yeah, all these different abominable societies out there that was put up and in place to deceive and to rid of human beings on the earth. Yeah, they are the ones who hold the top notch in power right now. So the ones who hold the top notch in power right now, folks, yes, is the big CEOs and them in the bank, and all of them who have master degrees in business and in banking and all these different um, monstrous disaster. Uh, in other words, what I'm trying to say is that, I'm not talking away where people can understand me, and I don't have to be talking over and over and explaining about the same thing over and over. I'm explaining about this in a certain way where people could understand, where people could have a better understanding of why all these CEOs are stepping down from power, because they have to further the agenda. And because they have to further the agenda, they have to leave the sideline work. Because all Bill Gates was doing was just the Microsoft thing was just the Microsoft agenda. Then the Microsoft agenda, that what Bill Gates was actually anticipating all the time. It was a hidden agenda, hiding him from the world, so the world will think that he's just the CEO of Microsoft. But the thing is, he's the real mastermind behind the vaccines. So CDC is owned by Bill Gates, the Illuminati. Guys, everything that they have told us, everything that you may think or believe is true, it is indeed a lie. They lie. That why they could have humanity under quarantine and have everybody helter skelter, panic buying, all these different things. But the saddest part about it is that people is not buying they're not buying the necessities, like canned foods, and people not buying things to build their body. The pharmacies have probiotics and all these different things to boost your immune system, even if they release the virus in the vaccine, because that is the agenda. The agenda is to release a vaccine in the virus in the vaccine. That is the agenda. And once they release that, you will see people drop along and die. Now, I saw you all maybe see a lot of people talking about the Illuminati plans to kill 89%, or sometimes you might see they're talking about the Illuminati plans to kill 60% of humanity by 2020 or by 2030. Well, guys, they're not waiting for 2031 to come. Because as I have been saying all the time, the ambassador on the earth, there's no 2030, there's no 2029, there's no 2040, there's no 2050, there's none of that nonsense. All right, they was just billing you, they was just giving you an illusion, a dream, or giving you an opportunity to imagine how your future will be. They were giving you fantasy dreams, which is not the reality of what is really transpiring here on the earth. They're not giving you all the real reason why they are quarantining people. They're not giving you the real reason why now they are locking down hospitals and they are locking down business places. They're not giving you the real reason why. And people have no idea what is the agenda. If Shalom to Brother Kareem and everybody on the live. If peradventure, right? If peradventure the world was really going to survive, 2021, 2022, if we realize that the actual divine prophecies that was brought to you through Archangel Samuel, if you understand the divine prophecies that was brought to you through dreams and visions too as well, if you understand what Elohim have been showing you in the heavens and the clouds, if you understand certain things that people are videotaping in the sky, if you understand all these supernatural things, then you will understand how close it is for home. But the saddest part is about is that most Christian people will not make it. Most Muslim people will not make it. So what we are actually doing, we will be choosing those who truly have those who have a likeness, those who have a love for the Creator, they will be chosen. Those who have a love for religion will not be chosen. Those who have a love for their gods will not be chosen. Those who have those who went out of the way to make sure that the word of Elohim is being taught, the word of Elohim is being preached, those who went out of the way to make sure that the word of Elohim is being circulated in their family members, they will be the ones to be raptured, they will be the ones to be taken. So the purpose of the quarantine, as I say, the purpose of the quarantine is to bring a complete division in the spirit. Hold on a second there. Alright, so the purpose of the purpose of all this the purpose of all what is happening right now is for an indefinite agenda, because the rapture going to happen and the catching away going to happen and all these beautiful things will happen. They will make sure that people are quarantined so that boom, if when it does happen, it will happen, that people, family members will give an account for where they're gone, because they will vanish, they will disappear. Alright? So the purpose of quarantining the whole country is a personal agenda that the Illuminati has. Right? It's a personal agenda that you don't understand, because this is real deep. This is some deep. This is deep in the rabbit hole. And some of you all will not understand why certain things are being put in place right now to keep you quarantined. You will understand why the enemies are doing certain things, because you're out of loop, and because you're out of loop, and because you in your own world thinking that you have a future. There's no future, guys. I'm sorry to bust your bubble right now. There is no future. There's no future for this world anymore. Coming down to this week into next week, as I said already, going to be a countdown. So let's start to count down from 10, and let me just start to do an all-round countdown, because this is what it's heading to. We are heading into the end of the world. This is their final opportunity. This was their final chance to get the New World Order kicked off, but it has again failed. The New World Order is failed. It already failed already. So what they're doing now, and they know already that judgment of Elohim is here and already unfolding. So they are putting people under quarantine, and you will have to give an account for where your family member go. You will be the ones to suffer. So let me say you are quarantined, the rapture does happen, your family member is holy righteous, that family member will be raptured. You will have to give an account, right? So that's what I'm trying to explain to you all, and make you all understand exactly why the enemies and them doing these things, why they keep pressing into this agenda over and over. Alright? Because the rapture, the catching away is unfolding, because all this is unfolding right now, because the end is unfolding right now, the enemy decided to quarantine the whole world. So they were hoping that shut down the whole world, use coronavirus. You remember before it had remember it had SARS, it had Ebola, and it had SARS, Ebola. Why they didn't call a pandemic with dengue fever? They didn't do that. They didn't have you all helter skelter, because they know that time it wasn't the time yet. They know it was not that time yet. All right, it wasn't actually time yet to actually execute certain things. Right? They wasn't ready for that to happen. So that's the only reason why that didn't manifest. Right? But now they're putting certain measures in place right now to make sure to put everything in place, to make sure that they have everything in order. Right? And this is what they're looking for. And as I said already, when your family member or whoever has been raptured, you, if you are left behind, you have to give an account where your family member went. Right? Right. You have to give an account to where your family member went. So let's say it happened later, and all of you all are quarantined, right? The government will send the super soldiers, and the super soldiers together with the army and the police, and they will come and ask you, where did your family member went? Because I mean, come on, where did your family member? If you can't see a family member disappear and all kind of thing, in other words, they're saying that they will put you down as crazy. They will say that you're crazy and you have a mental disorder. Then they're not going to kill you yet. They're going to use you for different agenda, right? Let me say your family member being chosen, that is a plus for them, because that means that your family member have a history. Your family member have a history of holiness in it. You understand what I mean? So if your family member is being raptured, they are coming to ask, where did your family go? They want to know where your family go. And not only that, they're going to put, and as we're coming closer and closer to April, they're going to start to put people under guillotines. I keep warning you all about the guillotines. This was the purpose why Obama ordered all the guillotines. Remember the guillotines? Remember all the guillotines? Brazil order, Argentina order, Venezuela order, Colombia, Cuba, Jamaica, all these places, right? America, Canada, UK, all around the world, they order guillotines. And the purpose of the guillotines is to take your neck. If you deny Christ, yes, if you deny Christ as your Savior. Remember in the Bible talk about that. If you deny Christ, Jesus Christ. If you deny Him, if you deny, right? If you deny that if you deny what they tell you to say, Christians will say that Jesus Christ is Lord and all this kind of nonsense, right? They will tell you, they will ask you, do you deny Christ as your Savior? Right? And if you say yes, you deny Him, right? They will kill you. If you say no, you do not deny Him, they will still kill you. So the proper way to approach the Christians is to make them understand is that whether you deny Christ or you don't deny Him, you will still be under judgment, in the enemy hands. So you see, the only one who has power to save is Yahushua, not Jesus. Jesus has no power to save himself. Jesus has no power to save himself. Because when Yahushua return, which is going to be in a few days from now, when Yahushua return, Yahushua is going to return with vengeance. And if you all remember my prophecy, right? My prophecy states that Yahushua will return at the end of the year. Guys, we are coming to the end of the year, not to the end of when I'm, people who listen, who are customers to my life, right? When I mentioned in 2017 that Yahushua going to come at the end of 2020, I tell you all, I will never give you all a full, I can't give you all a full date or a full timing of certain things. I'll give you all signs. I will tell you all, look out for this, look out for that, look out for the enemy to do this, look out for it, our dreams, look out, I will give you certain hints of certain things. I will never tell you all, I will never ever tell you all an exact time, an exact date. You will never get that from me. Well, I used to do that in the earlies, but not again, because people using the prophecies and selling it and to make money and making a prong and a crong of it. It's not alright. Right? So when I said that Yahushua will return at the end of before the end of 2020, or no, before the end of 2019, I said before the end of 2019. That is because Yahushua, that is because the timing in a loop right now, the timing in a loop, you have to, let me see if I can break it down and make you understand. Right? When I said Yahushua will return in 2019, we have left 2019, right? But we are still kind of way in 2019 because our true year, right? Not the Gregorian you're talking about the heavenly calendar, the heavenly understanding. Alright? Our true calendar, guys, right? Our true heavenly calendar, alright? It loops from in 2019 into 2020. It loops from 2019 into 2020, and the loop ends in April, right? The loop ends in April. That means that next month the enemy know, right? The Illuminati know, the secret society know, the elite know, right? Lucifer them know, the kingdom of darkness know, the kingdom Atlantis, everybody freaking know what's going on. All the fallen angels know, right? So they're shutting down the world, right? This shutdown of the earth, hoping to have a reset. They were hoping that when they shut down the world, it will have a reset and they will go into a cashless society. That is not going to fulfill, because of the loop that we are in right now. We in a serious loop right now where Yahushua is coming, because I told you all already, the loop is from 2019 into 2020. Our heavenly year ain't end yet, right? We are still in 7,381. All right, I'm going to enter into 7,382. So what I'm trying to say for the new listeners is that the actual year for since creation is 7,381 years. Where did scientists get 8 million years? When did they get 82 billion years the earth exists? They lied. The earth didn't exist so long. Alright? The earth's still young, but it had to be destroyed. The world had to be destroyed. Alright? So if you go back and you check from the time when Yahushua was here, right? If you go back and check the time when Yahushua was here, it will add up to exactly the heavenly calendar. It will add up exactly to the calendar that I'm teaching you from, which is the heavenly calendar. Alright, so you will have a more basic spiritual understanding of how the heavenly calendar clash with the Gregorian calendar. Alright? So because the heavenly calendar is clashing with the heavenly calendar is clashing with the Gregorian calendar, which is the worldly calendar, they have to shut down everything because they don't know what's going to happen. They have to shut down everything because we are entering a new year. Right? So the Chinese New Year was a whole deception. As you also know, the agenda the agenda for the whole COVID-19 and stuff like that, it began on the Chinese New Year. Alright, so when the Chinese step into their New Year, right, that's when they start the shit. When we step into our New Year, that's when they will be judged. You understand what I mean? So I just wanted you all to understand a little deeper, and giving you all a more clearer understanding why the enemy is shutting down the economy, everything clashing, everything falling apart. All of this say all people could work from home and blah blah blah. That is not going to build the economy back up again. The enemy they know that the world is going to end. They know that at some point Elohim will step in and divinely destroy the world. They know that. And as we could see, those who are eyes to see, all right, and those who are ears to hear, all right, if you look at certain things happening, if you look at certain videos on Facebook, it has certain groups that recording all the disasters happening. If you take time off, slack off at the COVID-19 nonsense, and if you look at the disasters that's happening, if you look at the beach in Brazil breaking up, if you look at the beach in Trinidad, the beach in Moruga, if you look at the California breaking apart, if you look at Canada splitting, if you look at Africa, sinkholes appearing all over Africa, if you only open your eyes to know what's going on in Colombia and Venezuela and all these different places, then you will know why the enemy is shutting down the place. Then you will say, but wait now. So the reason and purpose why the enemy is shutting down the place is because the master coming, the real man, Yahushua. Right? So the reason why they're shutting down the whole place, and now they're going to war, because remember when Yahushua coming, coming to make war. He coming with a sword, He coming with a sword. He ain't coming to smile and say, well, I do a good job for my father. No. He coming to execute judgment. He coming to execute vengeance. Right? He ain't coming to play happy dappy like all the Christians and them have a vision in the mind how Yahushua will return and blah 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 and smile. No, he ain't coming to smile and say, well done, my faithful Savior. That ain't coming, my faithful servant. That ain't coming yet. Right? That ain't coming yet. You have a lot still to go through. But it's a small, tiny, opportunity. A very, very slim opportunity you have right now to get yourself ready for this blast of supernatural intervention. All right. So this is the reason why you have countries going under droughts. Yeah. Right now, Trinidad and Tobago is under serious drought. Is under real critical drought right now. Right now, Trinidad is under serious drought. Not only Trinidad, Jamaica. Just let me look at the places that they're locking down with this nonsense. Just take a moment. Look at all the countries that they're locking down. Alright? Go up on the website. See where had floods before. See where had disasters before. Go up and look. And then you'll be like, wait now. So remember recently, if you remember recently, it had a 7.7 magnitude earthquake, which really was turned up to 8.1 or 8.2 magnitude earthquake in this place close to Cuba there, right? I think it's Cayman Island. Look, Cayman Island locked down, Jamaica locked down, all these places locked down. I'm talking about communities quarantine. You all are not opening your eyes. That is the reason why all these mega earthquakes happening. Because once you see certain things started spinning or swinging a certain way, they start to lock down the place. Because you know why? Locking down the place is essential for them to keep their power. So although they don't want to tell the public that they lose the war, that they actually lose the war, right? They have people working from home so that their businesses or the economy doesn't crash. But Elohim is going to crash the economy. The economy is going to crash. It's already on its way. It's already on its brink to being crashed. Alright, because it's already on its way, already on the brink of being crushed. Everything is about to just crumble. Although they're working from home, although although you have a lot of people working from home and all this different thing, that will not, it will not change the fact that the world coming to an end. It will not change the fact that the enemy agenda is to achieve the new world order. Um, so although some of you all might be saying, I had a bright future ahead of me, and I went to school, and I had this and I had that. All that was just temporary, folks. Everything what you have here in the flesh, it was it was gifted to you from Elohim. Alright, Elohim gave you it for a certain period of time, and now they're coming to take back every single thing. That's why you realize everything that's falling apart. The enemies, they can't fight no more. Elohim fighting them very, very hard. So although you mightn't see what's going on in the heavens, or you mightn't see what's going on behind closed doors, but Elohim is fighting the enemies. The enemies are being battled very, very hard, because certain agendas that they had to cancel it and pull up other things. So certain other agendas that they had, folks, they had to cancel certain things in order to put other things in front. Like the coronavirus is the corona agenda is their final flick. Is their final flick. Is their final opportunity. Right? Is their final opportunity. Right? So that's 7381783. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So as I was saying, guys, that this is the final opportunity that the Illuminati has. Remember the name Illuminati is just a name, right? Like Yahushua, like no, like Elohim, right? The name Illuminati is like Elohim. In other words, I'm trying to explain that the Illuminati is plenty people. It's plenty societies made up as one. Elohim is just three. Elohim is a family. They are the eternal family. They are the real boss. They are the real they are the high authority. I would even call Elohim gods, because they're greater than any god on the earth. Alright? So I am just giving you all a heads up, and for you all to look out for disasters now. Right? Disasters mean disasters. Yes, disasters. You're going to see You're going to see houses falling into the sea. You're going to see long cracks. We're going to see devastating things happening in coming weeks. In coming weeks, we're going to see devastating thing happening on the island in Trinidad. We're going to see devastating thing happening in the Caribbean islands, in the Philippines. We're going to see all the places where they had earthquakes. Well, devastating earthquakes. As you can see, all the places where they had devastating earthquakes, they have them under self-quarantine. They have them under community quarantine. I want you to open your eyes. All the places that had devastating earthquakes, had devastating tsunamis. If you look at what's happening in Indonesia right now, remember Indonesia? Recently, Indonesia had couple earthquakes. Well, about them executed a couple earthquakes. Well, we executed in Indonesia, Philippines, Cayman Islands, all these different things. And as you can see with your own eyes, that when the mega quake happened in Cayman Islands, Jamaica felt it. Jamaica felt it, Cuba felt it, Bahamas felt it, all the way to Florida felt it, all the way to New York felt it, from New York all the way to Canada. You realize after that big earthquake that happened in Cayman Islands, it loosed the tectonic plate. The tectonic plate is loosed. So now that the saturation is partway, almost completed, as I'm telling you all for about a long time, the saturation process. And I keep telling you all about the saturation process. The saturation process, right? We know that the saturation process will bring devastating effect on the earth, because people will laugh at me and say, the saturation effect will do nothing. Hello. The saturation effect is dread, because after when they saturate the earth, what do you think will happen? It will start to melt. You will see buildings and sinkholes, and you will see cracks and all these different things, because the saturation is used to, the saturation is used in a particular way to soften to soften the crust, to soften the crust of the earth come up. I know I explained about that already, and I explained the reason why recently people saw when the earthquakes happened, they saw water coming from underground. This is what I'm explaining to you all. I want you all to understand. Abraham have a reservoir. They have a reservoir of water under the earth that is stored under the earth. You see all that rain falling there, all that rain falling, and you see people going down in floods, and you see buildings flood. That is saturation, folks. Right? That is not normal rain that fall. And you see, long ago when we was younger and stuff like that, when rain fall long ago, you never used to see floods here, there. It never used to be that bad. But now, the saturation process that unfolding that is happening around the earth, where Abraham is opening the heavens and with atmospheric tsunami and stuff like that. A lot of you don't know what I'm talking about, but yes, Abraham does atmospheric tsunamis. The atmospheric tsunamis is where you might see a lightning show. You see a lightning show, and then you might see a big mushroom cloud, or if I want to say it, I explain it that so that you can understand. You see a big mushroom cloud, and in that big mushroom cloud, you will see like they will empty that water in that particular spot, and that water in that particular spot could be billions of gallons of water. They just dumping on the earth, right? The dumping on the earth, the water that dumping on the earth is not just for sure, yeah, we just wanna do some water works. No, that's why you see all over the world there's floods all here, there. That was saying when we was younger, we wasn't seeing this devastating effect. This wasn't happening, folks. We didn't have the magnitude of floods that we having today. It's greater. It's about 100 times greater than when we was growing up young. Like when we was young and we was growing up, we was seeing, little puddle and thing. Sometime when rain fall, we were going to dig a hole, and we will, kids now, we were playing in mud or whatever. That was long time. Now, you can't go and play in floods, right? You could be swept away with that flood, because as you can see, the water that they are sending, the water that they are using to saturate the earth is not normal seawater. It's not normal rainwater, rather. Alright? So as I explained already, a long time on my lives, and about them said to just give you all an idea of how the process goes, is that they send down funnel clouds. I had to explain it in this way for you all, so you all to understand. They send down funnel clouds. The funnel clouds take up the water. Alright? Take up the water, and then Abba shifts the water, and they carry the water in a cloud. Now the water is being traveled in a cloud, but not in a it's not in a watery substance, or it's not water. All right, they freeze it and turn it into a vapor, and they transfer it on a cloud. And once they transfer the water on a cloud, they place it to wherever they want to place it, and then they open the valve. I already explained about this already. Then they open the valve, and then all that water is dumped on that particular spot. Once that water is dumped on that particular spot, and then 3 days after, or 2 days after, or 2 months after, or 2 weeks after, or 5 hours after, or 3 hours after, or 3 minutes after, when all that water gone down, bam, they do a earthquake, the set spot, right? If you take pattern in what I'm teaching you, if you take pattern in what I'm telling you, then you will understand how the Creator bringing the earth to end. Then you will understand how the destructions are happening. Then you will understand why they shut down the earth, why they shut down the economy, why they're crying and talking about this virus killing people, and this virus killing. The virus is killing nobody. This is all an agenda, and they have key people who are willing to put their life at risk for the purpose of lying for the government, or purpose of lying for the Illuminati. You understand what I mean? They have people, right? They put people in certain position because they trust them. They trust that they will continue to lie. All right, because they will continue to lie to these people. All right, because they will continue to lie, that means that they will have power over this certain amount, a group of people, so that they could able to continue to push the agenda while the government distract people, while the media distract the people. All right, the elites, the higher ones, Bill Gates and all them, they're putting laws in place right now to jail your ass if you do not abide. Let me say, okay, they pass a law, bam, and you say you don't want to be vaccinated, you don't want to be. Let me say they make vaccination a priority, and they say each and every citizen must be vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, you can't eat, you can't. They will take everything away from you, and then you will be like a pauper. Oh, you'll be like a pauper, right? This is one of the plans that they have to initiate, to force that agenda on humanity by telling them you have to be vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, you can't you can't travel, you can't go to the bank without being vaccinated, or the vaccination serves as a biochip, because as I tell you all already about the New World Order plot is to kill 89% of people. But some of you might some of you want to know, but how could they do this? How could they achieve this in a short space of time? Right? How could they? How are they going to achieve this New World Order in a short space of time? In just 6 months, how are they going to do it? Boom. They have government, they have people in power. Alright, they have people in power that, let me say, they have puppets, and they're paying them a hefty sum of money. Alright, nothing ain't worth going to hell, folks. I telling you, well, and that goes for the higher heads too. Nothing ain't worth going to hell. Why sell your soul for more money? You know what I mean? Selling your soul for more money, and that one I keep saying over and over. They put people who in power, give them authority over a certain over a certain establishment, the hospital or the ministers and them. They give them power. They believe that they have power, but the truth is they don't really have no power. They fool them, they trick them. All the conferences and all the United Nations was inviting different ministers to come up and talk about this and come up and talk about that. That was all part of the New World Order agenda, to gather all nations together, all nation leaders together, to brainwash them, to bribe them, right? To keep them under their fingernails, so that they will do if they say go left, that to go left. If they say go right, that to go right. You know what I mean? So all presidents, so I want to let you all know that presidents are not elected, prime ministers are not elected, right? Ministries are not elected, they are selected. They select who they want in power. Alright? Now the power that they give them is not the ultimate power. Obviously, they didn't tell them you have power over all humanity. Nope. They tell them you have power over this country. You see this country? We want you to we will enforce your laws, and we want you to push these laws according to our countenance. Once you push these laws according to our countenance and you fulfill this, right, we will keep you in power. So all this nonsense that people think that, hey, going to different polls and voting voting have nothing to do with this agenda, or voting have nothing to do with prime ministers or you know what I mean? The fact remains, right, that presidents are not they are not being elected by the people. They are being selected by the Illuminati. They are being selected by the elite. The elite put them in power. And I keep saying over and over and over and over, Donald Trump is not a normal man that you might think that, hey, he called a day of prayer. You don't understand the agenda. If you understand the agenda, you will understand why today Donald Trump say how today will be a day of prayer. Why quarantine a whole country? Why shutting a whole country to call a day of prayer and using Sunday? That is the Babylonian law. If you all know, they're still enforcing the Babylonian law. They're still enforcing the sun worship law. Alright, because let me go a little deeper for you all. If you check for Monday, and you say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you check all these days represents a deity, right? I want you to go and research it. I ain't going crazy. I'm trying to teach you something. I'm trying to open your eyes more. I'm not mad. I'm trying to make you understand certain things. Alright? So what I'm trying to tell you all is that, alright, if you check Monday, what Monday stands for, what Sunday stands for, alright, Saturn. You could do your own research. You could do your own research and, figure out what is the agenda or what's really happening. Once you understand what is really happening worldwide, that is the only reason or the only time that you'll be able to understand what's going on. Alright, so I talk a lot, hoping that you all might have some questions for me. So I am here I'm here right now to ask you all if you have any further questions on all the things that I teach you all, or the things that I tell you all. It's been a handful, it's been a lot. Alright, so let's hear what's going on there. Alright, so that too as well. We have the American we have the elections coming up for America, there are elections coming up for Trinidad, elections coming up for Jamaica, elections coming up for Belize, election is coming up for Colombia, Argentina, all these other places. Election is coming up for these places right now. Saudi Arabia down right now. So guys, the whole world they shut down. They didn't just shut down one country, They shut down the whole world, and they have you working from home and telling you, we will give you sick leave or whatever. You had to use a sick leave. You see the agenda? They're not giving you the opportunity to still live happily, some people might think, oh shit, well, we're working from home, we still have a job, blah blah blah. This is temporary, folks. This is just temporary to keep the system running in the background. So, so those who will be working from home, all right, you will be supporting the New World Order agenda, because as I said already, the New World Order agenda is a secret agenda. But because whistleblowers like myself and other angels that came in the flesh, because other whistleblowers blow the whistle already, and some people already wake up to certain agendas, they decide to twist things around and turn things around to hide what is their real motive. But we who are awakened, we who are the true light of Elohim here in the earth, we are many. We are just not one, but we are many. We are an army of soldiers here in the flesh. The fallen angels know that we are army here. They know that we are sent here by the Father Yahuwah. They know that we are sent here by the Mother Ruach HaKodesh. They know that we are sent here to keep an eye on them. We sent here to keep an eye on the fallen angels and to tell the other human beings of the their atrocious ways, to make them awaken to understand why the enemies are doing this, or why Elohim is doing this, why Elohim have to do this, why they have to do that. We are here to awaken the other angels. We are here to awaken the other angels and to let them know that the Creator is watching them. To let them know that if Abba sent Raphael and Gabriel, Michael, right, all these divine angels already walk amongst men in flesh already, why will he have to tell you, boom, he's sending this one, or boom, he's sending that one? He don't have to tell you nothing, right? You just have to be obedient to what that angel tell you. You have to be obedient to whatever that angel say to you. Now, there are a lot of people who have their names up as Archangel this and Archangel that. These people are not truly archangels, right? So I just want people to know that. A lot of people who put up their name as because a lot of people ask me, but why you call yourself Archangel? Why you should, that is who I am. That is who I am. I can't lie who I am. Alright? I'm a very straightforward person. I'm a very truthful person. In that aspect. So I call myself Archangel because that's who I am. But there are a lot of impersonators out there. People who think it's right to put their name on Facebook as Archangel. That is insulting. It's insulting to be living an ungodly lifestyle. It's insulting to be a brainwashed fanatic. It's insulting to be a Babylonian worshiper and calling yourself Archangel. That is a shameful thing in the eyes of Elohim. So I'm alerting everybody. I'm telling everybody one time. You call yourself an Archangel. You should be able. You should be able to take the beating. You should be able to really go through the test. You should be able, calling yourself a name like that. Wow, that is real responsibility. That is real power. That is real authority. And besides having that, I am busy. And besides having that, and besides having that, all these different things, right? Besides having all these different things, I had to understand why certain things are the way how it is, why certain things are the way how it is. Alright? People need to understand that. So that is exactly what's happening. So that's the reason why they shutting down places and they bringing everything to a halt. But while they're bringing everything to a halt, they have people working at home to make sure that the agenda stays alive, to make sure that the system don't collapse on them, because this shutting down all the countries and all the nations, this could be critical. So they know it will be critical. They know this is a win or lose situation here. That if Elohim bring the end, that's it. That's completely it for them. They are no new world order. They have nothing. You know what I mean? What I'm telling you all. So you all have a greater understanding. So that is the reason why the enemies, the Illuminati, the Freemason and stuff like that. They were actually waiting for a reboot. They say, well, okay, we will shut down the whole thing. And then we will have people working in the background for us, like we'll have people working home, right? That's just not making sense. Because all of that people working home, there's no reboot coming back to the economy. Because things are getting more and more and more and more worse. Because since things are getting more and more worse, and the evil is so much on the earth, Elohim is not giving them an opportunity. I just telling you all one time. Elohim is not giving them an opportunity to even enforce vaccine laws and all these different things that they have planned. So they have a small window of opportunity from now until April. Have a small window of opportunity, and if April pass and nothing happen, you will see the COVID and all these different agenda die down, because they want to build back up the economy. So if, let me say, per adventure, but them say, okay, well, but we won't do nothing. We will do nothing. Well, we will still do the earthquakes here and there, and we will do it a little slower, blah blah blah. And then and only then, bam, the COVID now will die down. All right. So boom, and then the COVID will die down completely. The agenda of the agenda of Corona will die down completely, and then they will boost back up the networks, they boost back up the economy. But that is not possible, because what they are doing is a real scared move, and people don't see that the enemies are very scared. The way how they are operating like things are never going to come back the way how it was before. And to shut down a whole country, just to please their ego. It's just to please their ego, They just want to please themselves. They just want to be, the ones on the forefront, the ones in, they want to be the ones in front, The Illuminati is made up of different societies, and the head is Lucifer. They are fed up of being the wingman. They're fed up of hiding behind ministers and calling the shots behind. They want to come out now. This is what the New World Order about. The New World Order is about the real government, the shadow government, coming out now in front now. The real heads. You know what I mean? The real heads, the real government. The real government now will come out now the Illuminati, they will come out now. And then you will see who the shadow government is. The shadow government is the ones who hold all the power. They more greater than the elites. The elites is just a puppet. So wherever law they draft, and they tell the elites, hey, write this, do this. The elite have to go back to a lower class of people. It's a different classes. The highest is the Illuminati, but the Illuminati is above they're above the grid, so to speak. The Illuminati is above the grid. They control the music industry, the war, all these different things. They have people. They have human beings who are responsible for different offices in the Illuminati. They have Skull and Bones, and they have the Freemason, and they have, lodges, and they have different things now, different things to keep their own seeds doing the evil agenda, or creating a fiction, right? Creating a fiction of an agenda. That is why it had a lot of people who were born with superpowers. I saw you maybe hear about that, maybe see it on YouTube, and you might say, nah, that is not true. That person photoshopped this picture, that Photoshop video. Not everything you see on YouTube is true. It's true, but certain things, to be honest, certain things on YouTube is actually real. Like you'll see people flying. It might look to you like Photoshop because now if NASA does Photoshop their pictures, NASA Photoshop their globe, NASA Photoshop their Earth, NASA Photoshopping Pluto and all these different illuminaries that do exist. So if NASA robbing you of your true wisdom to understand why the earth is the way how it is right now, because of different agendas. All right, because the Illuminati has so much of different agendas they have. So much of different agendas they have, folks. All right, that is why the reason why the economy collapsing. All right, the economy collapsing, and it will continue to collapse as long as this agenda is going. They have at least let me see, they have about 3 weeks and about 2 days or something like that. They have about 3 weeks and 2 days again to complete this agenda. And as I said already, if Abba Yahweh decide, okay, we're going to let me push it to August, or let me push it to next year or something like that, you will see the economy, all the agenda, everything. They will come out and say it's free now. You still, they will come out and say, still keep in mind that you need to still keep hygiene and blah blah blah. But the COVID nonsense will die down completely. That agenda will completely die down if Abadan decide that they're going to give them more time, or going to give them an opportunity to go into the new world order. But that is not really possible right now, because Elohim is very angry. They are very, very angry right now at our leaders of this earth. They are angry at them because, as you all know, well, Illuminati put certain people there, is true. But there's a higher power, Elohim. And Elohim put certain ministers there too as well. They put these ministers there to test them. So certain ministers in power, certain government officials in power, certain people who are power in hospitals, certain people who is nurses, certain people who is doctors, certain people who hold different positions in the society. Elohim put them in. Elohim gave them that position, right? They were given that position. That position was given to them. You know what I mean? So because that position was given to them, they were given certain power and certain authority to execute certain agenda. So this is it, guys. This is all in a nutshell here that I explained to you all, because other things you will not be able to understand. Alright? So I'd like to say thank you for everybody who watched today's live. I hope that it was informal. I hope that you understood exactly what I'm saying. And I hope that you all will share this live. So thank you again, everyone who shared today's live. I hope that you learn, and I hope that you write down most of the things that I tell you, so that you will have an idea why Why there will not be a reboot in the economy, because Elohim bringing the world to an end, and why the earth cannot be rebooted after what they're doing here. After what they're doing here right now, it will take years. It will take about, let me say, it will take about 9 years or 10 years for them to really reboot the economy and get it back the way how it was before. So how they settle down everything and they settle down every place. They have people working from home, but that will not change the fact that the world is still coming to an end. So thank you everybody. And I am the ambassador of Elohim here on the earth, signing out. Shalom to everybody, wherever you are from right now. So again, we will see on the next live. Bye bye. Love to you all. Share this live.